If you've ever lost weight before, got lean or pretty lean and somehow ended up right back where you started, then this video is for you. What I'm going to cover in this video, it's got nothing to do with willpower or motivation or discipline, which is what you may think would cause you to regain all of that weight. I've coached over 100 people to get into great shape, to lose weight, to lose lots of weight, to get nice and lean, and to actually stay that way. I've seen both sides of the coin. I know what works, I know what doesn't work, I know why people end up losing the weight and falling off. I know why people never end up losing the weight to start with. So everything that I'm going to tell you in this video, it's not theory, it's not some hypothetical scenario, it's from my own experience of nearly a decade worth of training for myself and coaching over 100 people to get into genuinely great shape. If you follow the principles in this video, you won't just lose the weight, you'll actually be able to keep it off for good. First, let's talk about something that's going to completely change your view of past attempts that you've had trying to lose weight. I was doing a little bit of research online a couple of days ago and I stumbled across a study from PubMed. Now, this study said that men who'd lost a significant amount of weight in 1 year, 80% of those men regain most of the weight. In 2 years, it's 85% of men. And in 3 years, 95% of men that lose a significant amount of weight regain most of that weight. And to me, that was absolutely bonkers. And that got me thinking straight away. If 95% of people are regaining the weight that they've lost, that's not a personal failure on you as an individual. That's a system failure. You followed the wrong system to help you lose the weight, which means that once you've lost that weight, you can't continue to use that system because it's unsustainable. If this has happened with you, you're not weak and you're definitely not broken. You've just followed a system that wasn't built for you and that wasn't built to last in the long term. The design flaw with most diets is that they're great for helping you to lose weight, to help you lose fat, and to help you get lean, but they are awful at teaching you how to stay that way. Typically, you'll see people do extreme calories, living on poverty calories, doing insane amounts of cardio, removing entire food groups from their diet, and just living in constant restriction. And yes, that's going to force the scale weight to go down quite quickly, but you need to ask yourself, can you imagine yourself doing that for the next 5 years? And if the answer is no, you may get to the result where you want to be, you're not going to be able to maintain that, which in my eyes, what's the point in doing that? If you want to get into great shape, you want to stay in great shape as well. That's the whole point. You don't want to get into great shape and then revert back to how you were at the start, because that's essentially pointless. If you can't sustain the method, you won't be able to sustain the result. A good plan is one that you can look at and say, I could do that for years, even when life gets busy and when times are tough. You need to be able to continue to move forward and to continue to do what you need to do to actually maintain that shape. If every time life gets busy or life gets a little bit messy, you go completely off the rails because the plan that you're following is unsustainable, you're going to fall at that hurdle every single time. And that essentially guarantees that you never get to where you want to be. Or if you do get to where you want to be, somehow, you're not going to be able to stay there, which is frustrating. And that's where you get caught in that vicious cycle of stripping off the weight, getting nice and lean, and then regaining all of that weight. And I've seen people stay stuck in that loop for years and years and years. So here's the part that not many people talk about. The real reason that you rebound after losing weight, after losing a significant amount of weight, is because you've got no exit strategy. Most plans are built to help you get to the result, to help you get the scale down, but they are not built to teach you how to actually stay there. Calories drop, structure is incredibly tight, routine is strict, and then all of a sudden, that goal is gone. And then everything disappears. And then you've got no goal, you've got no reverse phase, you've got no controlled calorie increase, and you've got no habit transition. So what happens then? Calories shoot back up overnight, and your habits, they don't adjust to match that calorie intake. You didn't fall off the plan just simply ceased existing. It's like driving a car at 70 miles an hour, slamming on the brakes and wondering why you spin out. The harder you push to strip the fat off, the harder it is going to be to maintain that. If there's no exit strategy, rebounding isn't a risk, it's the default outcome. It's what's going to happen. Now, aggressive fat loss does make things worse. This is a mistake I see far, far too often. Fellas, from the get-go, they'll be following extreme protocols. No calories, doing insane amounts of cardio, following some mad restrictions, and when you start a fat loss journey, motivation is at its highest at the start of the journey. So yes, doing that for a short period may work and it may get you those results, but that's only going to work in the short term. When energy starts to dip and your mood starts to crash and you're hungry all the time and your metabolism is crashed, you're very, very quickly going to hit a wall and you won't be able to push past that wall. It creates a result that you can't maintain. The harder that you diet, the more habits and behaviors you rely on that aren't sustainable in the long run. And when those behaviors stop, because life forces them to, you're running out of time, you're feeling hungry, you're tired, your mood is low, your metabolism is crashed. It will all cause the weight to come back so quickly. And it's, again, not because you're weak, it's because your plan demanded a version of you that can't exist forever. It's not physically possible for you to maintain how you were operating to strip that fat off. And that's the issue. The men who stay lean, they don't live in a fat loss mode. They know that that fat loss phase, it's not a lifestyle, it's only temporary. Staying lean is about creating and having boring, repeatable habits that are built for you. That's the exact reason why it's so important for you to create your own plan. I see so many people, and for lack of better knowledge, follow what they see someone do online because it's working absolutely brilliantly for them. What works for someone else probably will not work for you because you live on different time scales, you've got different things going on in your lives, so you need to figure out what's going to work for you and what's sustainable for you in the long term. As a basic rule of thumb, protein stays high year-round, training is always structured and never skipped, cardio and steps are always kept in to maintain condition, meals are predictable and repeatable, that's a big one. And once you are finished with the fat loss, calories come back up slowly and gradually, not overnight. The people who get lean and stay lean, they don't chase extremes, they don't follow any mad regimens. Protect consistency at all costs because consistency is what's going to guarantee the maintenance of your physique. That's exactly why they don't rebound. When the diet ends, their habits don't disappear. They don't rely on motivation to get lean and stay lean. They help to build systems that make fat loss and staying lean automatic. I do want to be clear, again, to reiterate, I'm not talking in theory here. I've coached over 100 people to get lean, to lose body fat, and to stay in great shape. I've seen both sides of the coin. I've seen the people that lose the weight and they regain that weight. I've seen the people that can't lose the weight, and I've also seen the people that lose the weight and manage to keep it off in the long term. And the difference is not motivation. It's structure, it's planning, it's having a system that allows you to move forward even when life gets busy. The real men aren't the men who are most motivated. Far from it. Speaking from my experience, I still do things every single day that I don't want to do every single day. I'm currently 13 weeks into a bulking phase and I'm still doing 15k steps every single day, which is over 2 hours of straight walking. Now, do I want to do that? No. I would much rather spend that time working on my business to help move my business forward. But in order for me to progress with my physique, I need to be doing those steps so that I can stay relatively lean during my bulk, so that I can bulk for longer, and so that I can build more muscle. So just like everyone else, and just like with me, the fellas that get lean and stay lean, they rely on structures and systems built around them that make the fat loss process automatic. So here's the takeaway from this video. If you are trying to lose fat at the moment and your plan only tells you how to lose fat and it's not telling you how to maintain that once you get there, your plan is incomplete. You need to go back to the drawing board and you need to get yourself an exit strategy drafted up that you can look at and you can think, I could do that for the next 5 years very, very comfortably. And only then is your fat loss plan complete. Getting in shape and losing fat is great, but if you're not going to attempt to sustain that shape, what's the point? It's essentially pointless. And the thing is, staying lean isn't harder than getting lean. Getting lean is much harder than staying lean. Like when you actually get to where you want to be and you are quite lean, you can scale things back with the expenditure. You can bump up your calories a little bit. You can have a little bit more flexibility and freedom with your food. But maintaining the shape that you get in is something that's rarely taught and it's not accounted for in planning. So that's going to wrap up the video, people. If you are trying to lose weight, get yourself a plan for the fat loss, get yourself a plan for the exit strategy, and then you'll be absolutely golden. So if you found this video helpful, please drop me a like, drop me a comment with any questions. Don't forget to drop me a sub, and I will catch you people in the next one.